What up, y'all? Welcome to the first episode of the Attitude Adjusters. My name is Tony, here with my co-host,
Owen.
And today, for our very first episode, we're going to be discussing the Elimination Chamber, everything that happened, the fallout of it, and our personal thoughts. Let's get into it.
Alright, so the first match of the night was the Women's Elimination Chamber, and I thought it was a pretty decent match. We had some pretty good spots by everybody. Everybody did good in that. What are your thoughts about it?
I thought it was pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? It was really nice to see Jade finally come back and to finally see them capitalize on the story that I felt like they dragged out a little too long. But to see Jade finally get her lick back on Naomi, I thought that was really dope, you know? I don't know how I'm going to feel about Naomi being a heel, or which is I'm assuming is the way they're going to go. Because Naomi's really over with the people. She's a really big face, so I don't know.
And you have like her entrance, which is like, glow, glow, glow.
Exactly. Everyone loves it. But you know what? We'll see. You know, we're going to let Papa H cook. He knows what he's doing, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
It feels like he flounders sometimes, but then he always comes back and reels us all back in, bro. You know, you can't doubt him. You can't doubt him. You got to give him time to cook. But outside of that, I thought it was good. You know, personally, you know, I'm a huge Bayley fan, so I was really upset to see Bayley get eliminated first. But It was a great match. You know, Bianca was trying to get out of the match to go take care of Naomi, but you know what? She persevered. She cooked, and she ended up winning. You know, good for her. And honestly, another person to really highlight is Liv Morgan. You know, Liv Morgan got a lot of flack for the longest time for not being a great wrestler, not having the greatest reign because of all her matches against Rhea. But the past few months or so, you know, she's really shown out. She's shown that she could be a really good wrestler and that she could really pop off. And so I'm proud to see that development. Hopefully she flourishes more and she does more stuff outside of the atmosphere of the Judgment Day and doing her tag team with Raquel. Hopefully she does more single stuff and expands her territory.
Definitely. My thoughts on the Women's Chamber, I liked it. I love that Bianca one because that was my personal pick. I can't wait for Rhea versus Bianca, and I hope it's Io because I think that is WrestleMania. Not obviously after the fallout, but that is definitely, in my opinion, should be the night one main event of Mania because women worked their ass off and they haven't been the night one main event or any main event in the past few years. So I personally think that we get Rhea, Bianca, and Io. I think it'll be an amazing match. It could probably steal the entire show.
I agree, honestly. I think Rhea, Io, and Bianca would go absolutely insane. You know, they're all fantastic workers. They've all got good chemistry, and to see them really tear it down and give us a fantastic night one main event, I think it would be the icing on the cake. So hopefully that's what Papa H gives us. But, you know, we'll see.
We believe in you, Triple H. Don't fuck this up.
We do indeed. We love you, GOAT.
Over the moonsault connects. Sky, cover, hooks the leg. Io Sky is the world champion. Io Sky.
All right, next up to talk about is the Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I'm gonna be so real. This should have been a pre-show. With this Mania, with so much star power, Charlotte didn't show up, and we're waiting for Charlotte versus Tiffany. It generally felt like a filler episode when you're supposed to have like the biggest, like, especially if it's in Vegas, you're supposed to have like the biggest lead up, and I personally think it's really went nowhere. I know that ends the Tiffany and Nia feud, but I personally feel like it was just a regular SmackDown match.
I agree, honestly. You know, I mean, and that's no flack to the women. You know, I love Tiffany. I love Trish. You know, Nia and Candice LeRae are also really good. But to be fair, like you said, you know, I think that the match was definitely very overshadowed by everything else that happened because all the other matches were bangers. And I definitely do feel like that's something that could have been on a regular episode of SmackDown. Or even if they decided to bring back pre-show matches, they definitely could have done that as a pre-show match, like you said. But you know what? Fair to them because they did work their ass off. It was a solid match still. And I know Tiffany wanted to have this match with Trish. It was a bucket list thing of hers, so at least they were able to get that done. But I do also agree with the fact that they should have done something with Charlotte, even if Charlotte like interfered or came in afterwards to kind of beat Tiffany down or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, WrestleMania is a little over 40 days away, and we need to you know speed things up, start to get their story built up. So hopefully they really build off of that next week, but we'll see where it goes. The next match, which I think was also a fantastic match, honestly, probably in a wrestling sense, best match of the night, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
KO versus Sammy in their unsanctioned match. That was absolutely stellar. KO and Sammy, they are soulmates in the ring, bro, and they absolutely showed it again last night.
Yeah,
they popped off. You know, I think it was a little bit of a slow start, but once they really like started getting into the crowd, you know, it really popped off. Like Sammy putting KO through those tables, and you know, just all the beer and the food getting dropped on him and everything like that. You know, it was sick. And then once they circled back to the ring again, you know, it was a fucking barn burner, bro. You know, all those chairs, Sammy getting dropped through the two tables, then eventually Sammy bringing out the barbed wire chair and putting KO through that shit, and you know, KO hitting his face and everything. It was sick, you know, and Sammy did a fantastic job selling his neck being hurt and progressively getting worse. You know, trying to get the feeling back in his arm. It was stellar. You know, they did such a good job. And then at the end, seeing Randy come back after a few months of getting package pile driven by KO, fantastic, hitting the RKO on Kevin, you know, and he was coming very close to hitting that punt kick, which we haven't seen in the longest time. And it's a shame that they stopped him from doing it, but you know what, it is what it is. I do get it. The match was over. I wish Randy had gotten a better chance. And one more thing too is I saw when KO got into the ring to wait for Randy, he was crying, bro. He was like on
this
tears.
Big KO's a demon.
He's fantastic.
I know we had that thing that we're gonna talk about later in the video, but KO is my personal for right now heel of the year.
He's absolutely stellar. I love KO, but heel Kevin Owens is another beast. And just again, to seeing the crying, you know, I don't know if that was just emotions just getting the best of him, if it was because he was feeling remorse for, you know, doing what he did to Sammy, because they've been brothers for over 20 years, bro. You know,
shout out El Generico and Kevin Steen.
I'm saying, you know, but again, just fantastic match, and I think my personal pick for match of the night.
I agree with you off the match of the night. I personally thought it was amazing matches. I love hardcore matches, and I've been waiting for this match. In my opinion, after knowing what I know now, it should have been the main event. But before the show, I personally thought it was the main event. So you have two dudes from Canada, two dudes that were in the ring together for their entire career. I personally, and it's like essentially a WrestleMania moment without WrestleMania. So I personally love the match. Also, I found it really goofy, and I know it's wrestling, it's goofy, but I like how when Randy Orton sets up a punt kick, the security's like, oh, let us do our job, not when Kevin Owens is already halfway murdering Sami Zayn. Well, Sami Zayn's down. They're like, nah, let's protect the bad guy. So I just love goofy stuff like that in wrestling. That's why I love wrestling, because how goofy it is. But I thought it was an amazing match. Barbed wire chair was insane in my opinion, and amazing spots. They're two great wrestlers, and I can't wait to see where like the storyline goes. And I am worried for Sammy, because I don't think Mania should have Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn. In my opinion, it should be Drew versus Sammy. Let Sammy finally get his win up on Drew, because he hasn't had it ever. Alright, now it's time for the main event. The Men's Elimination Chamber. I thought it's a star-studded main event. You have John, CM Punk, Drew, Seth, Logan Paul. Personal opinions aside, he is a star. And then, I don't think Damian Priest should have been in this match. I love you, Damian. But I personally think Jacob Fatu should have been in this, because you're having a big star for the future. But that's personal opinion. I thought every man showed out. My personal thoughts on Drew versus Damian, it's a 2023 Monday Night Raw main event. And you're having that at Mania, but this is about Mania, this is about the Chamber. But I loved all of it. I loved CM Punk and John Cena having that 2011 Money in the Bank match in the middle of it. I love how angry Seth is against Punk. Honestly, it was pure hater energy throughout the entire match. But I love this match. I mean, it has two of my favorite wrestlers, that being Punk and Cena. So I thought it was a great match, in my opinion. And I can't wait to see where this goes, because who knows what's Punk going to do. We still have the favor. Is it going to be Punk, Seth, and Roman? Or is it just going to be Punk versus Seth? And I can't wait for what the future holds. The match was amazing, and I can't wait.
Honestly, I agree. You know, this was, like you said, it was a fantastic match, very star-studded, a lot of aura, a lot of vibes from these guys, you know what I'm saying? Also, I do agree, Damian Priest really shouldn't have been in that match. I love Damian. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. you know. But Jacob Fatu, like you said, is very star-studded. He is going to be the future for the next decade, and I think he also deserved to get that spot. I don't think that they should be setting up for Drew versus Damian, like you said too. You know, this was something that could have happened a couple of years ago, but not now. I understand, you know, Damian screwed Drew a couple of years, no, not a couple of years ago, last year, you know. But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like Damian has the title anymore, so why does it matter as much, you know? Sure, let him get his lick back, but it shouldn't be a Mania.
Yeah. And then here's my thing. I have no idea what they're doing with Drew. Drew was the biggest heel of last year. And you're just having him get rolled up. I love Jimmy and I love Damian. But you're having him lose to low main event, high mid card people, in my opinion. When you have since he had such a monster year last year, and I don't have no idea what they're doing with Drew. Hopefully they make something of it, but you could go back and go ahead.
It is a shame. I agree. You know that they have Drew floundering as much as they do. I mean, at the same time, with him being stuck in limbo, I kind of get it because there is a lot going on this year. You know, you got the Rock back. You know, you got John Cena in his retirement tour. You've got Cody, and then obviously Gunther has his thing going on with Jay, which hopefully they move on after Mania with that. You know, whether it be Jay winning, whether it be Gunther winning. Honestly, maybe after Jay wins, if he does win, they could continue the Drew Bloodline Hunter storyline. Have him go after Jay, and maybe he can win the title off of Jay after a while.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I understand them wanting to put Jay, in the title picture and get the title because he is extremely over. You know, he is getting super pops every single time he goes out there. And
sometimes it's not even about the in-ring thing. Sometimes it's about the people. You see kids happy, people yeeting everywhere.
Exactly.
And so I think at first in the Rumble I was mad, but now with what the road is leading to WrestleMania, I think WrestleMania 41, it's not going to be as amazing as 40. Because I personally think nothing can top that. But this road is unpredictable, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Exactly. I was really disappointed at first when John got eliminated, but like you said too, it took me a day or two, and I finally, was like, all right, cool, Jay got it. And obviously, I think, segueing to what we're going to talk about afterwards, I think it was good that they waited for John to win here instead. But, I mean, honestly, personally, I think they could have gone a different route, like maybe CM Punk winning it.
Yeah.
But, give Jay a chance. Like we said, Jay is super over with the crowd, and sometimes that's what matters, not like you said, the in-ring ability. And he's not like he's the worst wrestler in the world, he's not awful, he's pretty solid, But, ultimately, if he's over with the crowd, then he deserves his spot.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's something that is something we could talk about another time. But back to my thoughts on the chamber match. It is a shame that Drew got rolled up and he got taken out so quickly. I think the first few segments of the match didn't really quite pop off because you just had Damian and Drew and Seth and Logan just kind of flattering around with each other. But I think once John and Punk came out, it really started to pop off. I mean, John and Punk, like you said, it's like they rewind the clock. They went back to their 2011 vibes. That chemistry hasn't gone away, and they haven't wrestled in over a decade together.
I know, it's like insane how they look like they're in their like late 40s, but they look like they're in their mid 30s.
Exactly, it's crazy, and I'm happy. That made child me feel something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Watching them grow up watching them wrestle and going at it and seeing them doing it again now at the old age that they're at, it just, it's chills, you know what I'm saying? And, Seth letting his hatred for Punk getting in the way, getting himself screwed over by just having that tunnel vision on Punk, not really worrying about John like that, it got him screwed because ultimately, John and Punk, they're boys. So, of course, they're going to take each other's side and take out Seth, and ultimately that's what happened, which, of course, led to Seth curb stomping Punk. And a lot of people have said, too, an old John Cena wouldn't have taken advantage of Punk getting curb stomped like that to get the win. But John didn't even hesitate this time. STF the fuck out of him, said I'm sorry to him, and then just finish the match. You know what? Sometimes you gotta have that killer mentality.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, John said him winning 17 is what's best for business. Him main eventing Mania is best for business. So he had to jump on that opportunity. And you know what? Ultimately, good for him, bro. I'm happy to see John main eventing his last Mania. and I'm really excited for what's to come.
I lost the footage for the John Cena for the last segment where Who Sold the Soul. I thought it was a great friggin' segment. I thought that John Cena, I did not expect that. I know people were saying, oh, John Cena would turn heel on the internet, but Triple H would have never done that. Triple H would have never listened to the internet. So the fact that they're doing it is actually amazing. I don't think that he's going to be staying heel for the entire of his retirement tour. I think that he's going to turn face. I think that The Rock's going to screw him over or something. He's going to turn face. But I just can't wait for Mania. Mania's going to be so legendary considering that. And personally for me, I started watching wrestling around 3 years ago. I fell in love with wrestling because of Cody Rhodes, and obviously me and Tony are from Massachusetts, and we grew up in Mass our whole lives, so we're obviously big fans of John Cena, so my two favorite wrestlers are going up against each other, and then the rumor of Punk inserting himself with the favor into that match, because Punk is my other favorite wrestler. So I can't wait to see what's up and what's going to happen next. And Mania is going to be so legendary.
All right, that's just going to do it here, y'all. Thank you for watching our first episode. There's going to be more to come. We're really hoping to, expand this and get far with all this. With our passion of, and love for wrestling, this is going to be very genuine. We're going to be very genuine about how we react to things, how we display our emotions and who we are. This is genuine. No bullshit. No fake personas. This is us. This is going to be genuine reactions. No shilling out to certain companies or anything like that. This is going to be raw. We're going to be fair. We're going to be balanced, and it's just to be our genuine feelings. Thank you for watching this, checking it out, and just be on the lookout for more videos to come. We're going to try to get social pages up soon. And once we do, we'll have that out for y'all to check out as well. So please, hopefully subscribe, give us a follow on other spots, and thank you for coming along for the ride.